Hello there. This is not one of my fun videos about Teen Wolf canon. It's one of those news update things, so I really won't be offended if you just dip out now.
From the worldwide headquarters of the Beacon Hills News Network, this is Teen Wolf News.
This will be good news for the hundreds of you who never wanted to see a new version of Teen Wolf without the OG TV cast. But it's also kind of bad because it might hurt chances for a continuation of our show set in the Jeff Davis universe. Now, back in the fall of last year, I reported that Jeff Davis and MGM were talking about doing new Teen Wolf without MTV. Now, that would mean they couldn't use any of the stuff from the existing universe and would have to instead start over from scratch. That option is now off the table because of an executive shift at MGM. This man, Steve Stark, is no longer in charge of the studio's scripted television division. Steve Stark is the man who oversaw all of the successful MGM television efforts during the past decade. He was largely responsible for the company's successful exploitation of its existing movie IP, like Fargo, Handmaid's Tale, Silence of the Lambs, Vikings, and Teen Wolf. When Jeff Davis told me in November that he'd been talking with MGM about a reboot, he meant that he'd been talking to Steve Stark. Now, according to Davis, with Stark's exit from the studio, that reboot idea is now dead. I can hear a lot of you screaming, "Good, we didn't want it anyway." The total reboot idea was certainly rejected in large numbers by my little corner of the Teen Wolf fandom. But in my mind, that reboot threat was the only leverage that MGM and Jeff actually had to pressure MTV into getting off their overfed network asses to make more Teen Wolf. My thinking was that any successful reboot would actually hurt MTV's long-term ability to profit from the existing show and thereby significantly reduce the value of the IP that the network owns. Now, the only reason ViacomCBS is still hanging on so tightly to Teen Wolf is because they think it's worth more on their balance sheet as a potential show than it would ever be if they were to actually put it back into production. A successful reboot would have changed that math significantly. The reboot idea was always a weak threat due to the current trend of streamers and networks wanting to own 100% of the shows they produce. But still, it was an option which is now gone. So the reboot is dead, which I happen to think is bad for our chances of a season 7. But I did promise folks some good news this week, and there is a bit. Teen Wolf debuted on Hulu a few weeks ago. There wasn't much hype around it, at least I didn't show up on any of the ads on Twitter or my other Teen Wolf themed accounts. But it's on there now, and from the numbers I have access to, the show is apparently finding a whole new audience on Hulu. I say this because the traffic over at my official Teen Wolf wiki shot up by 75%. I can't share the real graph with you because my corporate NDA forbids it, but it's an impressive number of new people looking for information about the show, and it coincides exactly, day and date, with the Hulu debut. Now, up until now, the show was exclusively available over on Amazon Prime, which absolutely killed its streaming potential. Before they made that stupid deal with Amazon back in 2013, the first 2 seasons of Teen Wolf were available on Netflix. And we got that nice fat Netflix bump in the ratings going into new episodes in season 3. Then came the dumb Viacom Amazon move, and that killed it dead. Now that it's more widely available and apparently attracting a lot of new eyeballs with very little hype, the financial reality of making new episodes might shift enough to warrant a revival of the show. That is exactly what happened with Jeff Davis's other show, Criminal Minds, once it hit Netflix. The huge popularity on streaming led directly to a new episode order from Paramount Plus. So, okay, this is weird. I hardly ever do these call to action things, but if you have Hulu or your friends have Hulu, tell them to put on Teen Wolf and let it run from beginning to end all day, every day. Now, that's probably not how any of the streaming ratings actually work, but I am constantly being asked by people what we can do to get a new season 7, and this is some direct action that you can take if you have access to Hulu and unlimited bandwidth. Thanks for watching. Go do the YouTube things, like and comment on the video, and maybe subscribe. I promise I'll take you back to Beacon Hills for a fun new video next week.